Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today we're looking at the Radioddity QT-40 radio. This has got to be the most controversial thing that has hit the internet since K8MRD started poo-pooing on APRS. No matter what you think about it, this is a 10-meter radio at a decent price point, which will get you on the air. Maybe you're the kind of person that wants a dedicated radio to do 10-meter digital traffic. Maybe you just like the retro look from when your grandfather introduced you to radio when you were 7 or 8 years old. That's where this comes into play. It might not be for you, but that's the beauty of the hobby. There's 1,000 things to do here, and not all of it is for everybody. Let's open the box and see what we get inside. Radioddity has been a big supporter of the channel, and I appreciate them sending this in so I could share it with all of you fine folks at home. Kind of a heavy radio. I wasn't expecting it to be as heavy as it is, but if you're buying your radios based on weight, this is the one for you. So we get the radio in a nice plastic bag. Check that out. That's pretty retro cool, I think. We get a nice little owner's manual here. Lots of information, and then these are also available online. Right, we get a nice mounting bracket for mounting this in your car or under a desktop. We get a 3-pin power lead on one side and bare wires on the other, so we can put whatever we want on it. This is the knobs to screw in the bracket, a microphone stand, and some supporting cushions and an extra fuse. We get a microphone cable of a decent length, up-down button on the microphone, solid PTT, 4-pin plug. We have what appears to be a programming cable. So this end is big enough that it's probably got one of those serial UART converter chips inside of it. And then this is mini USB. For some reason, we can't get USB connectors in this decade. I don't know what it is about radio manufacturers, but none of them, not a single one of them get that. All right, on the back side of the radio, we have an external speaker jack. We have a PA, so public address. We have our mini USB data port, our power port, and our antenna. And then on the front, we have a whole bunch of knobs and buttons and things. So we will get powered up and rearranged and plugged in for this. But this is fantastic. It's a lot lighter out of the box. It might have just been a packing density thing that made it seem a little heavier than it actually is. Heatsink on the back as well. We're gonna get this thing on the bench and figure out what it's got going inside. I'm excited. All right, you know what we do next. We take this thing apart and see what it is made of. So let's get my number 2 Phillips head screwdriver and get these screws undone. All right, we have 2 screws on each side, top and bottom, so 4 screws total on the side, and then 2 screws on the back, top and bottom. Slide that off a little bit, open it up. And this is the top of the radio, and there's nothing to see here because this is actually the bottom side of the circuit board, so it's a good thing I took the cover off of the bottom as well while I was at it. These 4 screws here are just for the speaker. That's actually a pretty big speaker. And what do we have there? We have a plug to get the speaker out, and the actual plug housing came off with the plug itself, but that's fine. That's just a pin holder. All right, while we are in here, let's take a look. We've got little cans over top of everything. It says Shield 800. Great. Just in case you needed to know your alphabet, there's an alphabetical reference there. A couple of inductors set up. Possibly some bandpass filtering going on there, and more than one band, so there you go with that. It's much lighter with the case off. It is like super light with the case off. Is this thing soldered on or is it just sitting on? All right, she's super clean inside. That power connector is done in kind of an interesting way. It goes through 2 binocular toroids, and it is just soldered directly to the leads with some wire, and those wires go all the way through and come to the circuit board through those 2 binocular toroids. Interesting. All right, there's the big boys I was looking for. On this back wall, that's got to be our final transistors. Let's see what kind they are. IRF 520, IRF 520, IRF 520. So we got 3 IRF 520s. Interesting that they chose to put 3 of them in there. All right, while we have this thing open and we are inside, let's take a look at what it would take to do the Mars mod on this thing and open it up to do a couple of extra frequencies. There is a jumper right here. As you're looking, this is the front of the radio here, and then the front of the circuit board, you have this shielded part here that says Shield 800 on it, and underneath that is a set of jumpers, and it says 1, 2, 3. All you need to do is take this jumper and move it to the 2 and 3 position. By default, this is a channelized radio, and you have A, B, C, D, E, F bands on the L band and the H band, L for low, H for high. And if you start off on channel 1 on the A band, you get 28 megahertz, and as you step up, you go up 0.05 at a time, and then you have basically access to almost every single frequency this way. I will leave a link to this frequency guide spreadsheet in the description down below, but you can also find it on Radioddity's website. There is also a VFO mode. The bands are kind of quiet today, but you can always find something to listen to on FT8. So if we go to our band plan, you'll be able to see that we're looking for FT8 we know is 28074. The closest one that we have is 28075. That's a big problem, right? That's not the right frequency. No. Hang on, let's do this. So let's turn it to 16. You can hear a little bit of FT8. On the top of your microphone, there are 2 buttons. If you push both buttons, let's turn this down. If you push both buttons, that turns into a VFO type frequency. So it says 28070. Okay, and then you have this fine adjustment knob here. So let's turn it up a bit. And let's see what our frequency looks like. First off, let's set it to USB. That would help. And again, you can hear some good FT8 signals in there. 28075. Okay, we want 28074, right? So we take this fine adjustment knob here and we turn it down. 749. It's getting better. There we go, 28074. And there is the song of my people. So that's how you do VFO mode, even on a channelized radio. This is what it looks like in normal channel mode. We turn the radio on, and this is fantastic. I love this little power meter display up here. It gives you signal strength and transmit power. And if you turn the VFO, it beeps and it changes channels, just like you'd expect it to. There are high band A through F and low band A through F. And then there's also weather channels. And you are locked out of transmitting on weather channels as you would expect. That beeping is annoying, so let's fix the beeping. Turn it off. On the front of the microphone, there are 2 buttons. We want to hold the up button and turn it on. And then you get into your function menu. So this is the BP for beep. I'm going to hit PTT on the microphone. And now I can change this. It's set to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, off. No more beep. Turn the radio off. Turn it back on. And now, no more beeping. Fantastic. We are going to do a little power test right here. We're all set up for it. We have the QT-40 plus the MFJ849. And then over here is my dummy load. So I am transmitting into nowhere land. Power is turned all the way up on FM mode. 41.4. I love this little meter here. Whoop. Whip. Perfect. Okay. And then let's go to AM mode. 12.42. Excellent. And then we have a power dial here. And this dial, it says it goes up to 45, and then it goes all the way down to 1. But it's kind of a variable power meter. Let's put it into FM. Turn the power all the way up to 45. And we get 41. And then I just start turning it down. And that's a pretty good power setting meter there. 2.38 is as low as it goes. And then we'll do the same thing for AM. Turn it all the way up again. And we're at 12.35, 12.4. And we turn it down. And then as we turn it down, it goes down to 2.3. Fantastic. All right, I don't want to jinx it, but this might be the first day of actual spring that we've had. Shh, don't tell anybody, because it's been pretty bad up until now. The Radioddity QT-40. I am pretty impressed with this. It's a pretty fun little radio to play with. It's one of those things where it is what it is. It is a channelized, non-channelized, 10 meter only radio. You can do a frequency expansion on it to get it to open up. If you do the frequency expansion, the band plan and the spreadsheet that you can download off the website is no longer the same band plan as what is in the radio. Not a big deal, you just have to kind of adjust what you're doing. Using the 2-finger trick on the microphone will get you to see what the actual frequency is that you're listening to, and it will go from there. It's been fun playing with this thing. I'm gonna probably play with it a little bit more. I have no idea what the future holds for this radio. If there's anything exciting or interesting to share, I will share it with you, because That's the kind of guy that I am. There is a link in the description down below where you can get this thing on pre-order at the time of recording this. The pre-order is a sale price that includes a $20 gift card of some kind. After that pre-order thing is over with, my link down below will get you a discount and you'll be able to save some money on it that way. Give it a try. See what you're missing out on. See what the 10-meter export radio business is all about. Otherwise, there's a video right over here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.